Hi everyone, I'm Amy of Handmaiden. I'm coming to you from New Zealand, down the bottom of the South Island in a town called Gore. So thanks for joining me. I see we had quite a few new subscribers, so welcome along, and also thank you to everyone who continues to follow and comments below. I really appreciate it. So I normally do this once a month, and I basically share what I have been making in the past month and also what's new at Handmaiden, what I've been making, what's on the website and stuff like that. So first up, I am wearing an oldie but a goodie. I made this quite a wee while ago early on in my knitting journey. This is Pink Fizz by Andrea Mowry, and it has these beautiful lace panels. So this is the first lace work that I ever knitted. Again, I think if you just love something enough or love the pattern enough, you're like, I can do that and just jump in and do it. Follow each little bit of the pattern at a time and it turns into a garment. So yeah, beautiful lace panel here, both sides, and the same on the back. The lighting's not amazing in here today, but there we go. Yes, super cute. It's like a drop shoulder. This is where I picked up here for the sleeves. The only modification I did to this pattern is the neckband. I had plenty of beautiful yarn left, and I also wasn't 100% happy with how wide the neckband was. I prefer my neckband to be much more closer so it kind of covers my t-shirt. So I just kept knitting. When I picked up the stitches to put the ribbed neckband on, I just kept on going so that I could have a nice folded over neckband, which I think suits the sweater perfectly. Yeah, you could fold it over or leave it high, especially when it's cold. It's nice to have it up. And the yarn has been dyed up by Heather Ware. She is probably one of my favourite indie dyers. Beautiful, beautiful colours, and I haven't even alternated skeins, even though the mohair and the 4-ply were all hand dyed. I never get colour pooling with Heather's yarn. She's got it sorted. Beautiful. It's much more burgundy in real life than it seems to be showing up on the camera. It looks more brown, but it's beautiful. I've actually got 2 sweaters made in this same colourway. Yeah, definitely a favourite. If you want to know more details, I'll link my Ravelry, the project page, in the show notes below, so you can go check it out. Yeah, and then lots has happened in this past month, so I don't feel like I have done as much making, but I did finish my Rebel Mob sheet blanket. This was for the Kiwi Make Along that is still going through till the end of August. Again, I put all the details in the show notes before. New Zealand yarn, New Zealand pattern design, but you can just use Kiwi yarn or a Kiwi pattern. It is amazing and I love it very much. I'm also very happy that it is done. It was not hard, like it's literally just knitting a stitch and slipping a stitch in different places to make the sheepy come to life, but it was an undertaking, and it's 4-ply weight, so it was a slow project, and I know that it's a slow craft and you just have to embrace it, but I think I have a bit of a queue of other things I wanted to make, and I just wanted it to move on to the next thing. But I'm stoked with it. Love it. Got a bit of a colour theme going on today. So cool, and it's even better in real life, like the texture. It's just amazing. You want to touch it, it's so tactile. This is Outlaw Yarn, and it was designed by Deborah. The pattern is by Deborah of Outlaw Yarn as well. Yeah. It needs a block. I'm going to go give it a bath after I've shown you. Stoked with that. So, back to Handmaiden. July's colourway for Fibre Club and Yarn Club has all been released. Like, all the posts are up on social media, so it's all out now. And this is the stunning braid. I dyed it so if you spun it end to end, it would fade through the purple into blue. This is Purple Pop, and it always splits and makes these really fun pinky bits. And that would actually be UV reactive, like under the UV light this would be glowing, that fluoro colour. So it's an Anna Grattan base, and it is Corridor, Llama and Rayon. Don't know if I can show you on here, or maybe. It has got super fun rainbow flecks, like little strands of rayon in there, and there's also the longer strands you can see of the llama in there. Beautiful Corridor base, like all Anna's bases are. Yeah, so that was July's colourway, and then the yarn club for July came out on Wild Earth Yarns Possum Sock Blend, which was very lush. I don't even have one for myself, but I'd love to make a pair of socks with it. I bet they'd be so snug and warm having the possum in. So yeah, it had nylon in there as well. Proper sock blend base. Very happy with those. The colourway was based on July's birth flower, which is Larkspur, very similar to Delphinium, one of my favourite flowers. Yeah, I saw when I was grabbing this one to show you, this was, is it April's? Yeah, April's colourway, and I was thinking how good these two, April and July, would look awesome spun together if you kept this one to do the slow colour change and spun that for the other ply. Fun. Speaking of spinning, Tour de Fleece is currently happening till, is it about the 26th of July? So while Tour de France is happening, cycling, lots of spinners get together to spin, and I have definitely been fitting in some spinning. Like while I was away for school holidays up north, I was spinning on my spindles, but since I've been home, I've been back at my wheel, my Daedalus Starling. I love spinning on that. So I just went through the stash and found all kinds of fabulous braids that happen to look really good together. So that's what I have been spinning. This one is all ready to be plied. It's just a decision about what I'm plying it with. But that's pretty. They always look so pretty on the bobbins. Oh. And then I have plied this mega bobbin. It's so full I couldn't fit anything more on here. And it is deliciously squishy. I'm not sure if you can see the shimmer in this one, but there's silk in that fibre blend there that's been dyed. And at the moment, I'm just admiring the beauty. Like, oh, it's too dark to show you. The end of this looks so pretty anyway, because you can see the colour changes in there. So pretty. Just going to admire it for a while. Spinning. Yeah, and then the other thing that, going back to Fibre Club and Handmaiden, it has been July, yeah, means it's been 2 years of Handmaiden Fibre Club. So that's pretty awesome. Yeah, amazing. I was surprised actually. I was like, wow, it's already been 2 years, and I'm just so grateful for everyone's support and encouragement over those 2 years, and it just keeps growing. It's humbling. So I have done a giveaway on social media, on Instagram and on Facebook. If you comment on that particular post about the 2 years celebration, comment on there and tag someone that you think would like to get a surprise braid, and then I'll draw a winner at the end of July so they can get August's surprise colourway. So when I'm shipping out all of August, I will pop one out to the winner of that. So yeah, feel free to tag people, new spinners, people that think they want to start spinning. Maybe getting some lovely fluff might encourage them to have a play and try. Yeah, so go find that post and tag someone that you think might like some fluff. Cool. Yeah, so it's been the school holidays here in New Zealand, and they've just gone back to school for the week, but we went up north to Auckland because that's where my grandparents are. Lily and I flew up there and stayed with them. And while we were in Auckland, the Civic Theatre had the Crocheted meeting house on display, which was an incredible experience. If you are able to go and see it, I'd highly recommend. Yeah, I found it very moving to be in that space, and it was just, the longer you spent, the more detail you saw. It was mind-blowing amazing. And not just crocheted panels inside, like the whole outside was crocheted as well. It was amazing, and we were lucky enough to meet the designers or the creators while we were there. Yeah, pretty special. I might try and put a video in at the end of this or something so you can see, but again, the backlight, like the UV lighting, made it glow and just even more incredible. That was pretty special to be there. Thinking what else, what's on my needles. So the sheet blanket is off, and then while I was up north, my gran had rescued a partial knit from the op shop. Like, she volunteers at an op shop a couple of days a week, and I guess like usual, yarn gets donated and things like that, but also a part finished sweater was donated, and I'm very thankful that she rescued it and thought of me. It came with, like, all the yarn was in the bag and the pattern is in the bag, and it's the person who was obviously knitting this has even highlighted the sizes they were making and stuff, and I just felt drawn to finish this project. It was so nearly finished. The yoke was done, the body was done, and even the band on the bottom, the ribbing, that was all done. One of the sleeves had a tiny piece of stockinette, like they just picked up and started to knit that sleeve, and then the other sleeve was live stitches unraveling. But I was like, it's so nearly finished, I have to finish this. So I've now finished this sleeve, rescued it. It hasn't had a block yet, but I'm quite surprised at the gauge is not screamingly different. We'll give it a block and it'll be good. Yeah, one sleeve done, and I've just picked up and rescued, like fixed the sleeve, these stitches that had unraveled, and I've started stockinette to do that sleeve, and then it'll be done. It's not my colour, I don't think, so I'm planning on finishing it and gifting it to my sister. The pattern is White Horse by Caitlin Hunter. Don't hold me to that, I think it is. Yes, so you knit it right side out like stockinette, but it's actually designed to be worn with the purl side out, and when you reverse the yoke, like when it's inside out, the bobbles, these beautiful little bobble stitches that are made, stand out so much more. Wait till it's blocked, it's going to be stunning. I can just see it. Beautiful. It is designed to be kind of a croppier length, and the wee 3/4 sleeves, I can imagine it being a spring piece, like it's lighter weight and you'd pop it on over a wee dress or something, or definitely springish. Yeah, so pretty. I'll let you know how that goes. Yeah, it's nice to finish it for whoever had started it and was so close to finishing it. It's going to be quite a bit of yarn left. I feel like you could make another whole one out of it. While I was travelling over the school holidays, I was spindle spinning because it was Tour de Fleece, and that's the easiest way for me to travel and move around, just spindle spin on my little drop spindle. But I also was knitting squares for hug rugs for the nattering knitters. So just garter stitch squares, and then they all get crocheted together. And I'm just using yarn scraps, like this is Pulse Merino from Skeins, all left over from different projects. I've made quite a few sweaters out of Pulse now, and all the fun little bits come together to make these squares. I think when it is crocheted together into a blanket, it will actually look really cool with all the colour shift. Yeah, having fun doing that, and perfectly brainless that you could be on the move and chat and still knit, and I'm sure you could stuff up garter stitch, but I can definitely do it without thinking. Just knitting, and it's all good. Trying to remember what else. Not a lot else, I guess, because I've been creating while we were away for the school holidays, we timed the new carpet to go down. So after 4 years, we finally finished our house renovations, and then the carpet was the final piece. And because we did the whole house at once, it was like moving house, so everything had to come out that touched the floor. Next time you see this room, I'm back in the back office, like my creative space, but next time you see it, there's going to be shelves on the wall, like the office will be back in. I can put all my books and all my stuff can all come back in, which is exciting. And then shout out to Beverly, who wants a tour of the room. I can give you a wee look around because there'll be stuff to look at. Yeah, right now it's just a bit of a banana box chaotic space. Yeah. And I guess I'd had quite a few questions that, yeah, maybe I can answer now because I don't have much to share. There's not much new on the website. I've just been fibre clubbing and school holidaying and house renewing. So there's a few questions I had about how my creative journey had started, like how did I get into knitting, and I wasn't sure how much of a deep dive you wanted to do, but yeah, during the moving like the packing up for the carpet process, I definitely uncovered a few things, and Lily pulled stuff out and that she wanted to create with, and I was like, wow, that's where it really did start for me. So yeah, in the 90s, Amy at primary school loved making what we called them friendship bracelets at the time, but they were all little knots. I don't know how clearly I can show you. Yeah. Bracelets out of embroidery silks. So I don't know if I'd nabbed these from mum had done cross stitch and there was always leftovers, but that's what we'd do. We'd get a pin and pin it onto the cushion, and you'd do all your different knots. And obviously this is an original, this is an OG, or rainbow already, like all the colours. When people ask my favourite colours, all the colours, rainbow. Yeah, so embroidery silks like that, and you'd just knot them and knot them and knot them in a different way until you had enough length for a bracelet. I even remember making like a really thick chunky one that I'd put a clasp on and turned it into like a choker chain back in when chokers were super cool. Yeah, so Lily is now making friendship bracelets like this. I showed her the technique. And then I don't remember doing much after getting into the workforce and that kind of stuff. The creativity in bracelet making started again, probably a good 10 plus years ago, when loom bands became quite a popular thing. Like lots of people were making loom bands with those little elastic bands, and Lily found my set, and so then I showed her how I used to make them. Loom plastic bands, kind of like what you'd put on your braces, and then this was the tool or the hook, kind of see it, kind of like a crochet hook but a slightly different shape, to basically grab the bands and loop all the bands. I taught myself how to do it out of interest and watched YouTube videos. So it quickly escalated from making the bracelets to making all kinds of things. It turns out you don't just make bracelets, you can make, I made a snake, there's a panda bear. I just would watch more and more YouTube tutorials on, oh, now I want to try and make that. What else did I find? Oh yeah, I found an octopus. I can't believe they haven't even all broken down. Like a rubber kind of perishes and breaks down the elastics, but these are still good. Maybe because they've been packed away in the dark for so long. Octopus, you name it, there's probably a YouTube tutorial to make one. Very, very fun. And then somehow from loom banding and using this tool that's kind of like a crochet tool, I started to crochet. And again, I taught myself from watching YouTube videos. I'm not sure if like YouTube even suggested a video because I was looking up all this kind of stuff, so then maybe some crochet popped up. But I remember being like, I'm going to try to crochet, and borrowed a crochet hook off my mother-in-law and got a giant ball of yarn from the warehouse. And I taught myself the basic granny square. I've even found the blanket. This was in Lily's baby dolls stuff. So I started off crocheting basically a granny square, but went round and round and round and just kept going to the point that I made such a big square that I felt bored of that stitch. So I looked up a different YouTube tutorial to make this fun square. Yeah, not bored. I was like, okay, I've mastered that. Now I would like a bit more of a challenge. So made all these squares. This is the first thing I ever crocheted. It blows my mind. I made enough squares that they went all the way around the blanket, and I've even crocheted them together. I was like, how did I put them all together? Yep, there we go. Crocheted all the squares together, and then obviously decided I needed to bring it all together into one, and chose to do this bobble edging. Must have taken ages. But yeah, that was the first thing that I ever crocheted. I'm stoked that I still have it. Very happy with that. It is nasty acrylic yarn, but acrylic yarn has its place, and I guess it was affordable at the time, and yeah, you don't know any different when you're starting at the beginning, do you? Yeah, funny. Crochet. That led to crocheting everything I could find to crochet. Booties, hats, blankets. There's multiple blankets that I've gifted, like big enough for beds, and every baby that was born got a new pair of booties and a hat, and eventually I got to the point where I felt like I had crocheted all the things. I was like, I don't know what else to crochet. Oh yeah, crochet toys, all kinds of stuff. And my local yarn store, who was amazing crochet, she said, why don't you try knitting? So just before lockdown, I bought a kit that had a pattern and enough yarn to make a sweater. Next time I'll have to show you the sweater. And stuck at home during lockdown, I knitted a sweater. Again, I'm sure I watched multiple YouTube videos on how to do all the things that this knitting pattern was telling me to. Yeah, but came out with a sweater. It's in the same colour as this, actually. Yeah. Nice simple raglan. Still have it, still wear it. It's definitely grown over time because I did not gauge swatch or do any of that stuff. It was the first thing I ever knitted. But yeah, cranked out a whole sweater. And haven't looked back from there. I crochet like a English style knitter. Like when I'm crocheting, I throw the yarn kind of like how an English style person throws the yarn when they're knitting. And I can't tell you why. That's just naturally intuitive. That's just what happened and how I crocheted. Yeah, so knitting. I love knitting now, and I reckon knitting is my ride or die. Knit every day. Yeah, I guess it feels nice to have something in each hand. And I still crochet. Like last month I shared the little dragons that I made for the girls, and I have an upcoming make that I want to do for summer. It's a wee tee and it's crocheted. Yeah, so crochet's still in there, but knitting is my true love now. Yeah, maybe hopefully that explains how I got there. During the first delve into knitting, I obviously hung out at the local knitting yarn store, and that's also how the spinning evolved as well. There was a lady there who's a special friend of mine that was spinning one night at our knit and natter kind of group, and that's how spinning took off. Yeah, that's where that connection was made. Other questions I've had are you going to do an advent this year? And an answer to that, yes. I have much planned and creative ideas. It will go on up there. But it is not going to be a fibre advent or a yarn advent, but it will be handy. Yeah, that's about as much as I'm going to give away for now. I'll release details on social media in the coming months. Yeah, I felt like we all had enough yarn and fibre, but so yes, I'm making a different advent. but there will be one, and hopefully appeal to everyone. And then other questions are about what is in the pipelines, like my makes, things I want to make in next. So they are mainly summer things that I'm planning at the moment, and they're all in like merino, cottony, linen blended yarns. Yeah, different yarns that I wanted to try that have plant-based fibres added in there as well. So they're mostly summer tees, like probably going to be nice quick makes, not having sleeves and stuff to knit. Yeah, I think that's about all. I'm sure if you are on Ravelry, you can go and scope out what I've got in my queue, and then you'll be able to see them all. So yeah, I'll put lots of links in the show notes below, and yeah, feel free to give me a thumbs up or comment below. Any more questions, fire away. Yeah, thanks for watching and joining me. Take care. See you next month.